Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Sherry plans on posting. A few days ago Sherry created her own account and plans on doing as I did and writing it all out as it happened with her. She's been aware of my postings since the third or fourth one and always loves reading the thoughtful comments and interactions I have with everyone. As I said in my last update, we're in counselling together and I brought up the fact that I post on here as a way of getting it out of my system, putting it all out there, and she expressed interest in doing the same as a therapeutic exercise. Oh, please let us know what her username is. I just reread all of your posts again. It's a devastating story. I'm so happy that you've found some peace with Sherry, let alone becoming a father yourself. I'm proud of you. Reading her posting, her side of the story is hard to learn. Whatever happened, it happened for your own good. You got a family going on there. I wish her well, but do warn her of the need for a thick skin. And the YouTube channels. Just read her story. Wow. I'm proud of her for posting it. She's probably going to post again soon. For months I've read my boyfriend's posts and updates. Therapy Edit forgot to warn about the length and TLDR. TLDR, I ignored many red flags and forgave to the point of being an idiot. Hello strangers. My name is not Sherry, but a lot of people on Reddit would know me by that name. For a year my boyfriend has been posting and updating about his ex-wife's affair with my ex-husband, and a lot of the comments I have read have been the sweetest, most helpful advice I've ever heard. He did not want to show me what he was posting, but after he found out I watched Reddit videos on YouTube, he showed me his profile and I have been reading them and giving input on them too, as he writes. My ex-husband, the one that is called Max in Illustrious Fox 8800 posts. We met online when I was still in school. I was 16 and he was 18, but we grew close pretty quick and started a long-distance relationship. He visited me once in my home state for a week where we decided we were going to move in together. My father never liked Max from the start. I think my first red flag was when he came over to meet my parents for the first time wearing pajama pants. For the rest of the relationship they never called him my boyfriend or fiancé, just pajama boy. We both loved anime and I am an introvert, so for a while he and like two of my friends were really the only people I talked to. I never thought he was a bad person. I always thought he was like me and just awkward and not used to crowds or social situations. He was always mailing me DVDs, figures, and clothes I liked when he wasn't around, and in the beginning he really did a lot to make me feel like he loved me. In my senior year of high school he convinced me that we had to live together and be together. He did not threaten to break up with me, but he did start saying things like this was the prime of his life and that he could be dating and sleeping around but didn't because of me. I told him I wanted to finish out the year and told him this, and for a day or so he talked like he was okay with it, only to start to guilt me about the life I was keeping him from living. My home life was not ideal, and being a stupid kid I gave in, stopped going to school and took a bus up to be with him. Things changed almost the instant I got there. He wasn't abusive, he did not hit me or insult me, but it seemed to me at the time that he had lost all sexual interest in me. We would have sex but not often, and where once he seemed outgoing, he now never wanted to leave his parents' house for any reason. We were still friends, but for 2 years of our relationship all we really did was play video games from the time we got up in the morning until the time we went to bed. He also started gaining weight from all the delivery food he ordered literally every day. Just to get out of the house I got a job at a pet store where I made my first friends in that state. The whole time we were together he worked in an office warehouse for a drugstore chain. So my life before the pet store was waking up, seeing him leave for work, having awkward conversations with his siblings and parents until he came home, and then video games. Honestly, I started thinking about leaving him a year into this. I felt he worked really hard to get me, but once he had me, he stopped trying or caring. It wasn't long after this that he revealed to me that he was bisexual. No big deal, I am too. But he started what I can only describe as passive guilting me. He'd talk about being attracted to men and how that was a part of his life he could never explore now. We started arguing over it and eventually I said something stupid like, "Go get it out of your system." I didn't know this would become a common thing. Through his phone I accidentally discovered that he had met up with a man for sex. I confronted him over it, we fought, he apologized and he promised he would never do it again. Truthfully, I wanted to move back home, but when this all happened I didn't have the best relationship with my parents and I thought moving home might be worse. This happened twice more and I forgave him 2 more times, or at least I said I did. I started saving up money from my job and planned to leave him and get my own place, but before I could do much I discovered I was pregnant. Instantly his interest came back and he was extremely nice to me again. I threatened to leave if he cheated again and I told him that we had to change and couldn't keep living with his parents because I was ashamed of being our age and still doing that, and to still do that with a child would make me feel worse. To his credit, he did change and start cleaning up. It was decided that we would move into his parents' second home and begin renting from them as the tenants that were previously renting had left. And it was during our move that I met his cousin, who I will call Jennifer. I really liked her at first as we were into the same kind of music and anime and had the same sense of style. She also had a little boy and started to give me young mother advice. When we were moving into our home, she and illustrious Fox 8800, I'll call him John from now on, brought over a lot of their son's baby furniture, a crib and so forth, and I was very thankful. But then he started hanging out with Jen a lot. She got him concert tickets for his birthday and took him out. He got a weekend job at Halloween Carnival and she was always posting pics of herself there with him and his co-workers. She started to seem a little needy and close to him, but they were cousins, so I didn't think anything was wrong with it, or if I did I called myself crazy for thinking that. He also started wearing kilts around this time. It was weird, but he is Scottish, so I figured he was awkwardly embracing his heritage. Then they went from the flannel, tartan, whatever designs to wearing one made of denim that just looked like a skirt. Jen started coming around a lot more the more pregnant I got, and I noticed that whenever she was going to be around or they were going somewhere, he'd be in kilts. They would claim to go to movies together or to hang out with mutual friends. I was very suspicious but attributed it to hormones. After my daughter was born, Jen disappeared overnight, though they would talk on the phone a lot. I tried to snoop once or twice on his phone, but there was nothing, and he was working hard and behaving like a good father, so all the weirdness just vanished over time. A few months later, Jen started coming around again. It got to be she was coming by almost every day asking him to help with something because John was at work. I remember once while they were both present I said, "Fine, go date your damn cousin again." I would find out later that it was during this time that John had discovered Max was sending Jen dirty texts, but she told him she'd deal with it. Then one afternoon, as I was getting lunch ready for my daughter, I get a knock at the door and it was John. He looks very composed, but he gets 4 or 5 words into explaining to me what he discovered before he gets choked up and teary. All of my suspicions were true. Max was cheating on me with his cousin. I went ballistic and exposed them on every social media platform I have. I saw Max 3 times after this moment because he ran away. The first was him pulling away from our house after he snuck in to collect his things. The second was meeting him in a parking lot because he wanted to talk in person, and the third was seeing him in the hospital after he poisoned himself. This is already very long and I plan to continue writing as a therapeutic release, but I'm glad I've got at least this off my chest. I have followed John's version of the story. First of all, congratulations on your baby. Actually happy for you guys. You guys are healing together in a drastic way. I know that Max was cheating on you with other men before this cousin fiasco, but thought that you were happily married. But this guy's another level of shit. We shouldn't talk ill to the dead, but he deserved it. Never expected to be this bad even before this shit show started. You are in such a low place. Anyway, take care of the baby and elder daughter. I always tried to make it look to everyone outside that we were happy and got along, but I was embarrassed, so embarrassed of what he had turned into. He didn't forbid me from having friends, but what few friends I did have, he talked so much garbage about that I stopped hanging out with them because I didn't want to deal with his long-winded speeches about them. When John told me he was cheating and with who, it was like the straw that broke my back. I'm not happy that he's dead. Even though he did everything he did, it still hurts to see what happened to my old friend. Our daughter probably will not remember much about him, and for that I am thankful. That's a good thing your daughter never remembers him. It's best that you move away from your in-laws. She has a father now. That's all she needs. I got teary reading that. She really does have a good dad now. I knew I was in love with him 3 weeks after he gave me the bad news. I was having a bad day, very weepy and very hard to keep it together. John told me to take a nap and that if my daughter fussed he could handle it. I woke up an hour later to him chopping up strawberries for her to eat. I got the warm fuzzies and they haven't gone away. Have you introduced John to the family yet? Make him part of your family. That'll cement the bond. He loves kids, whose kid it may be. I think he is still hurt by the fact that he will not be a part of X's kid, i.e. step kid. He is healing that from your daughter. He is a good man. Bless you all to have a good family and future. We have dinner with my parents once a week and they love him. They were nervous about him at first because of how fast we moved in together, but they love him now too. My heart breaks when I think of his stepson. He's such a smart and lovable child. I looked forward to seeing them at family gatherings. Jen was like a big sister to me at times, and seeing John play with his son always made me happy. Any update, Op? I've been trying to write an update, but I've been very busy. I have like paragraphs in a draft that I started to write last week. I will try an update soon. Awesome. I read all of Illustrious Fox's posts. He was an excellent writer. Boy, what a journey he was on. Would like to get it from your perspective. Thanks so much for your reply. I watched the story. It was very interesting to find out the story from another angle. We discussed it with our therapist. John was talking about how he posted on here and that it helped him process everything. It was suggested that I sit down and write it all too. I'm still nervous, but getting it all out kind of took a little weight off my chest. It's like writing it is making me sit down and face what I was too busy just dealing with before. Oh, do I recall your and John's story. I heard it many times over. I'm glad and feel privileged to hear your side of that story, as I hope that John and you are truly enjoying a happy life together with the little ones. Did I remember correctly? You both became parents when you moved states, didn't you? Yes, we have a son now. But he was already doing so much for my daughter before that, so really I think we became parents together when I moved in with him less than 3. Life is happier now. In fact, we went to my cousin's wedding tonight and it was our first big introduction to my whole family. I've been following the saga. Holy hell, that's a tough ride to be on. Just know that you've got a lot of people rooting for you out in the ether, and we want to see you come out the other side with smiles and joy. Thanks for sharing your story. I remember reading your husband's post and how shocked I was. You know, this subreddit has some really soul-crushing stories, so whenever I see posts like yours now I'm so happy. It gives hope how, no matter how hard things get, healing and happiness are possible. I wish neither one of us had to go through what we did. But I'm glad we went through it together. Op, I think I can speak on behalf of everyone who's read the story. We're all pulling for you. Both you and your current so were served a monumental shit sandwich with all the trimmings, and we collectively are overjoyed that you both found one another and are prospering together. Good luck and best wishes to you and your new family. Thank you so much. I followed your BF's story and it was sad that this happened to both of you. Although, now I am happy that both of you are in a better place. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.